morning. It's fun to be back with you all. I enjoyed my visit last week talking about the 9-pound hammer. And today we're going to do a lesson, and we're going to talk a bit about character motivation. Do you know what character motivation is when people talk about that? What's character motivation?
It's kind of like, what is your motive about doing something?
Yeah, what is your motive about doing something? So what do you think motive means?
Like, what makes you do something?
The thing that makes you do something, yeah?
Or like the reasons behind what you do?
Yeah, the reasons behind what you do. So we're going to be talking about it specifically to the 9-pound hammer and some of the characters. So let's first of all, let's talk a bit about who are some characters that are some of your really favorite characters from the books. Ones that really stand out in your mind. It's exciting characters. So, yeah, start us
The
off.
pirate queen?
Okay, the pirate queen. We probably won't have room for all of them, but we'll get a good sample up here for our lesson.
Buck.
Buck, our blind sharpshooter.
Rosie?
Rosie the alligator. We might have a hard time, she is a great character, but we might have a hard time knowing her motives since she is an alligator. So, I'm not going to put her on here, but we're going to keep her in mind as we keep discussing these. And we might actually be able to figure out some of her motives for things that she does in the book. So, Jolie. Siren. Let's get a couple more up here. Yes.
Red feather?
Red. Good. So we're kind of focusing mostly on these kind of secondary characters in the books.
The Gog and Ray.
All right. How about let's do Ray as our hero and the Gog as our villain. Sometimes it might be hard to figure out some of his motives since very little of the book is told from his perspective. But I think we can still figure out some of them. I think we have room for maybe two more. So one more.
Or she.
She, yeah. A good choice. And one more. Yeah.
Marisol.
Marisol. Okay. Well, I'll put her up here. Just to hear, what were some of the other ones you were going to mention?
Conquer.
Conquer. And we might want to talk about Conquer as we go through some of this, because he's a real interesting one for character motivation.
Peg Leg Now.
And Peg Leg Now, the leader of the medicine show. Right, yeah. So we'll...
Hobnob.
And Hobnob. He might be a kind of interesting one. He can be a little hard to figure out at times too, but I think we can do it. All right. So we're going to be looking at some of these characters today as we discuss character motivation. Now, character motivation, as you said, is the things that cause characters in a story to make certain choices, to take action, to do the things that they do. We are all motivated by feelings inside us. And that's what we're going to focus on today, are the feelings that motivate characters to do the things that they do. And I'm going to break it down to the two most basic types of feelings that drive people. One good, one bad. That's positive and negative.
Anger.
Anger could be a really good one. In the case of characters in a story, aside from the Gog, most of these are protagonists, are relatively good characters, although Pirate Queen kind of questionable, right? So, so we're gonna rope anger into it, but the one I really want to focus on, because I think most protagonists, the characters that you are cheering for, rooting for in the story, the negative kind of feeling that tends to motivate them tends to be fear, anxieties, worries, concerns. So I'm going to kind of put that one right over here somewhere. Fear. And on the positive end of the spectrum, the kind of good thing that propels us to do the things. What in the most basic way are the things that make you, that's kind of a good thing that makes you want to do stuff?
Kind of like knowing that if you didn't do this, something really bad would happen to everybody else.
Yes, I can see that. That to me, almost in a way, tends to tie in with fear. Now this is almost the flip side of fear, which would be desires. Now desires can come in many different forms. They can be wants, things that you want. They can be dreams that you have, aspirations. And so we're going to be looking a bit in a moment at how these characters are motivated by fear and desires. But let's first get some examples of fears and desires. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually might move just a couple of you just to spread you out. Could I have, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. how about we have you two slide over here, and one of you want to come over here to this table? Thank you. That way we'll kind of balance it out a little bit. I'm going to give you a sheet of chart paper. And what I would like you to work on together is to make two lists. On one side, I want you to make a list of things that are fears that people have. These could be fears that you have. So decide on one person who can be the scribe for this. And everyone else take turns making suggestions. So what are things that people are afraid of? Things that they worry about, they're concerned about. And on the other side, what are things that people desire? Dreams that they have. Wants. Needs. And I'll come around and I can help guide you.
What are we going to write?
Let's do one side as, let's list at the top here, fears and desires. Yeah, that'd be great. Let's not talk specifically about characters yet. Let's just brainstorm ideas for what are some fears, what are some desires. So let's list fears at the top and desires at the top.
Like, how would my decisions affect everyone else? Yeah. Like, what would?
And to help you get started, what would be what's an example of a fear that someone might have? Something that they might be worried about or concerned about? What would be an example? Getting hurt. That's a good example of a fear that motivates people. Worry about getting hurt. What's a desire that people sometimes have?
Rule over the world.
To rule over the world, to have power. And even in a smaller way, that works even amongst friends. Sometimes you want to have kind of power and influence over friends. That might be a desire.
Just write a little bit bigger than that. What would be like an injury? No, fear of the character getting hurt.